Welcome to Terrifying Tales, the channel dedicated to bringing you original horror stories. Please support the channel by hitting the like button or leaving a comment. And please consider subscribing to the channel by hitting the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Prefer to read? A written version of the story is available to read on Substack, and the link's in the description. The Driver Knows by C.J. Knight. Rain poured in sheets as Darren stood by the unsheltered stop. His coat drenched, hood pulled tight over his head. The streets were empty at this time of night. The bus pulled into the stop, and the doors opened with a familiar hiss. Happy just to be out of the downpour, Darren climbed aboard without a glance at the route number. Long night, he muttered as he climbed the steps. The driver eyeballed him, but didn't respond. Darren tapped his card and slid into a seat halfway down, noting that the rest of the bus was empty. The doors hissed shut, the engine purred, and the city rolled away behind them. Sheets of rain continued to fall so heavily that Darren couldn't make out anything as he stared out the bus windows. The driver spoke. Darren Blake, born November 3rd, 1988. Darren's body stiffened at the mention of his name and date of birth. What? He looked up to see the driver staring at him in the rearview mirror. Your hands tremble when you lie. Always have. Darren could only see the driver's eyes in the mirror, but he could hear the smile in his voice. The driver continued. You were 10 when you threw the neighbour's cat into traffic. The lights inside the bus flickered. You were 17 while you stood on the riverbank and watched your friend Thomas drown instead of trying to help. The driver's eyes remained locked on Darren through the reflection of the mirror. Darren edged forward in his seat. Fear was a foreign feeling to him. The ramblings of a bus driver certainly would not change that. What it brought forth instead was a familiar feeling, one of aggression. What the hell did you say? The tone of Darren's voice did nothing to shake the driver's confidence. 23 years old when you followed the first one home. 32 when you buried the 20th. The bodies are still beneath the cabin floorboards and the ground in the woods around the cabin, aren't they? Darren stood. You should choose your next words carefully. Maybe you should let me off here. The bus kept moving. The driver chuckled. Darren glanced back at the windows. The rain had stopped. Thick fog surrounded the bus. When did the rain stop? Darren muttered. Do you have any proof of what you're saying, or are you guessing? It didn't really matter. Darren was buying time. He began shifting forward, sitting in a seat directly behind the driver. To Darren, the driver sealed his fate already. His fingers found the leather handle of the knife in his jacket pocket. The driver finally turned. His face was wrong. It shifted. Staring at Darren was the youthful face of Thomas, the friend he'd let drown all those years ago. Proof isn't necessary for me. The face changed again. Now staring at Darren was the face of the first, her sparkling blue eyes and beautiful auburn hair. It shimmered beneath the lights of the bus, just like the first time Darren saw her. The name Susan screamed in Darren's mind. That was her name, the name of Darren's first victim. Susan's face withered away, replaced by yet another victim. And the face spoke. Evil deeds cling to evil doers, like the smell of body odour to a sweaty shirt. And the smell coming from you, Darren Blake, is as suffocating as the fog outside. The interior of the bus shook violently, almost throwing Darren from his seat. He wobbled to his feet and staggered toward the back of the bus. Fear, it seemed, was no longer a foreign feeling for Darren. The fog around the bus dissipated. Outside, the familiar streets were gone. The bus was travelling through a tunnel of stone. Darren stared through the front windows of the bus. The tunnel extended endlessly, yawning like a mouth into the abyss. Doors lined the sides of the tunnel, each made of rusty metal. Some shook and rattled, others bled. Darren stared once more at the driver. There was no face anymore, just a hollow void. Yet the driver continued to speak. The voice was sharp, like a rusty nail dragging over glass. I know who you are, Darren Blake, and I know where you belong. Buses take you where you want to go, but now and then, they take you where you deserve to go.